to your Natural Healer channel. I'm Tammy, and I am so happy to have you joining me for this episode of Tuesday's Enlightenment. It has been at least 6-7 months. I've gotten a lot of requests to bring it back, so we're going to see how it goes. So in this episode of Tuesday's Enlightenment, we are going to talk about citrine, okay? Citrine is one, at the time of recording this, I haven't sold because I haven't been able to find it, and I finally found it, and I will be getting it within the next few weeks. The majority of the citrine, the majority of the citrine that is currently on the market, 95% of it is man-made. And you're like, what? Citrine should be expensive. So if you're finding a piece of citrine very inexpensively, say this size for like $10, it's not real. Okay. Now, what does that mean, real versus, I don't want to call it fake, but it's really not authentic citrine. Authentic citrine should be a very, very pale, yellowish tan color, almost to the color of smoky quartz. So here is, this is about the brightest yellow you should see in citrine. And this little ball, as you can see, holding it in the palm of my hand, it is not very big. This little ball should cost you retail about $110 to $120. If you're getting a citrine sphere like this for $15, $20, it is not authentic citrine. Now here's another piece of authentic citrine. As you see the color, it is not yellow. It is not orange. It looks more like smoky quartz. This piece of citrine here, this should cost you, again, about, you got to remember spheres because, you know, they're worked, any shaped spheres, points, towers, obelisks, pyramids, they're going to cost you more money because, you know, they've got to do this. This is a natural citrine point. And this retail, I have to remember, this retail, because it's pretty heavy, this should cost you about $150 to $200. Okay, and that is authentic. Let me show you. I don't have, I think I have one piece of fake citrine. It was from when I first got into crystals. I bought this set off of Amazon, and it's one I didn't know. All right. This tower is being sold as citrine. And you see it's really yellow, it's got some orange in it, and this is not real. And it's supposed to be organite. And it is organite, but it's not citrine. Now, citrine that, like, you'll see, now this is not citrine, but I've seen pictures of citrine, this orangish color, this orange color, or even bright, bright yellow. Sorry, guys, not real. All right, so let's talk about what makes it real versus what doesn't. Natural citrine, as I said, it's more of a smoky quartz color, okay? Citrine, like this fake citrine here, this really yellow orangey citrine, is nothing more than heat-treated amethyst. What? That's why it's so inexpensive. And it's kind of hard to explain because me personally, I don't like working with what I call fake citrine. One of my mentors, she does use the heat-treated amethyst, and it's okay if you do, but I'm just a person, if I'm going to invest in crystals, I want the real deal. So what they do, because real citrine is very, very scarce, They take amethyst and they heat it. When they heat it, it turns this brightish yellow, gold, sometimes even orange, brown color. And they pass it off as citrine. One real quick tip is citrine does not come in geodes. So if you see a citrine geode, it is fake. Now, as I said, it's going to be more of a personal preference. I will never, ever, 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 ever sell heat-treated citrine, or excuse me, heat-treated amethyst. The citrine that I have coming in a few weeks, because like I said, it was hard to get and it was expensive. So if you're someone that purchases crystals from me, you're going to see that the citrine on my website is probably more expensive than other places. And that is because it is authentic citrine. Okay? So what is the difference? Other than one is real and one is just heat treated amethyst. So we've talked about before color and vibration, and you go, well, if citrine is yellow and then the amethyst is yellow, well, yes, it's getting the yellow vibration. Okay, so let's think of lemonade. This is the best way to explain it. Okay. You go to the grocery store, you got a hankering for some lemonade, and you either go buy the concentrate in the frozen section, or you can get like the Country Time or the Crystal Light or the no-name brand or Kool-Aid lemonade. And you take it home, you add the water, some of them you have to add sugar, some you don't, and you drink it. That is heat-treated amethyst, okay? It's delicious, it tastes good, and it's quenching. You know, it tastes lemony. It's artificial lemons. I guarantee you there's no real lemons in it, but it's not bad. Now, you go to the grocery store. You buy a whole big bag of lemons. You buy sugar. You go home and you squeeze the lemons and you get the juice and a little bit of the pulp and you mix your sugar and your water and you drink that lemonade. And it's sweet, but it's tart. And it's so good. That is citrine, authentic citrine. So comparing it, that's the best way to explain it. They both kind of taste like lemonade, but one is made with real lemons and one is not. That is the difference between heat-treated amethyst and authentic citrine. So to be honest, I mean, it's a personal choice. You know, there are people that you will get some benefit from the citrine. You'll get some benefit from it, but it's not going to be like the real thing. Let me tell you. And I did an experiment. I meditated with this, and then I meditated with this. And this is way superior than this. I've only kept this just because I had purchased it and I didn't want to throw it away. And then once I started teaching, I was like, oh, when I talk about citrine, this is perfect. So, again, personal preference. You know, there's some people that don't want to pay $200 for a crystal. Me, you know, it's like I have a huge collection, and if I want citrine and I want to work with citrine, I am buying citrine, okay? So that's where I said you got to be really careful where you buy your crystals from. Yes, it's authentic amethyst. Yes, they don't chemically treat it, excuse me. They apply heat to it, and that does change it. So while I'm not saying don't use it, it's totally a matter of preference. And me, because I am just so passionate about crystals, for me, it's the real deal or nothing at all. So again, that's totally up to you. But if somebody is trying to pass off a piece of that orange, bright yellow citrine, trying to sell it to you for $200, say if it was this size, but it was bright yellow or like a burnt orange, And they can get away with calling it natural citrine because it is natural. But most reputable dealers aren't going to call it natural citrine. They just call it citrine. A lot of times, some dealers you'll see natural citrine, and it is this. You just got to be careful because people are out there to rip you off. And then another thing they'll even do, you can get fake citrine. They'll sit there and they will take a crystal and they will dye it. There's a lot of fake dyed crystals out there, which if you're interested in that, go to lotuscenter.online. I have a course called Crystals 101, and I have a whole section about different ways, fake versus man-made versus, authentic crystals. But there's a lot of fake crap out there. So, all I can say, I'm going to plug my own business. You want authentic crystals, you buy from your natural healer. They get tested 3 different ways when they come in. And I only deal with a handful of suppliers, and all my suppliers, they actually fly throughout the year to different mines, whether it's in Madagascar or Brazil, Congo, and they go and they check out these mines to make sure that things are ethical, because for me that's very important too, is ethical crystals. So I only purchase from a handful of suppliers, and I still check their stuff just to do my due diligence, because this is my business and my seal of approval go on what I sell. So you'll never see me selling fake crystals. I try to keep everything at a fair price. So anyway, if you're in the market for authentic citrine, at the time of recording this, it'll be here in a couple weeks. If this is years afterwards, who knows if I have it in stock or not, because trust me, it's really difficult to find. And I had one of my suppliers, on the lookout for his various miners that, he uses. Excuse me. So with that being said, I just wanted to share with you and just make you aware of what you're purchasing out there, because just because it's on Amazon or some pretty crystal website doesn't mean it's real. And that's a shame. I mean, there's a lot of crystal dealers, they just go and buy this bulk crap on Amazon or Temu, and then they sell it and it's not authentic, or it's such low grade garbage. And I'm not trying to bust anybody's chops, any of my competitors or anything like that. I just want you aware, whether you buy your crystals from me or not, doesn't matter. I just want you aware, because crystals are fantastic. And if you're not getting what you pay for, well, that sucks. Okay? All right. Well, thank you for joining me for this episode of Tuesday's Enlightenment. Have a fantastic day. Go live your best life, but do it the natural way. Namaste.